Yeah. Fine. Refresh, run as boot application. Guys, I have done some coding for Ajax call. So it's working now. Let me show you the demo on that. Localhost colon 8080. Let me log in into our application. Yeah, I logged in. Add inquiry we completed yesterday and go to view inquiry. So I developed this functionality already, guys. So when I go to the home page, you can see that how many inquiries are available. So there are 4 inquiries are already available. If I go to view inquiry, what is the meaning of view inquiry? So whatever the inquiries that are available in the database, I'm getting that data and I'm displaying them in the table. So displaying the data in the table, that's not a big deal. It's very simple because already we have done several times getting the data from the table and displaying in the UI. The complex thing in this screen is the filters. In the first mini project, we implemented filter but with a button. When I click the button, based on the search criteria, data will come to the table. Now, I want to retrieve the data from the table and I want to display in the table based on the criteria. So here for Java, how many inquiries available now? 2 inquiries are available for the Java. If I select the course name as Java, then my table is reflected. My table data is reflected. So now if I go for select, then what is happening now? When I click on this select, if I am not passing any value, total inquiries are coming from the table and displaying in the table. Now, after the data is displaying in the table, I want to filter the data. In this, how many inquiries available for online and classroom? 2 inquiries for the each mode. If I select it as online, then what happened? Only online inquiries are coming. In the online, I want to see DevOps inquiries. How many inquiries for the DevOps? 1 inquiry is available. Select the DevOps. That inquiry is coming here. So the filter is working or not. Am I clicking any button? Am I clicking on any button? I'm not clicking on any button. Let me click on view inquiries. If I click on the view inquiries, it is retrieving all the inquiries belongs to that user. All the inquiries belongs to that user. After getting those inquiries, I want to see only DevOps inquiry. Select the DevOps. I'm just changing the drop down value. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. I will select course name as a DevOps. Now my table is updated with only DevOps inquiries available. Okay. If I change it to Java, my table is Python. My table is updated with Python inquiry. If I go for select all, see here for Python, Raju inquiry is available in the new status. Okay. Now enrolled status. How many inquiries available with the enrolled status? Only 1 inquiry. Let me select enrolled. That particular inquiry is coming. So all the filters are working. Classroom. It is not no record available with the status enrolled with the classroom. Select. Enrolled available with mode as online. Select mode as online. Data is available. Course DevOps. Data is available. Now if I clear this, if I clear this, so my table is getting updated. I'm able to get the data dynamically by using these filters. So here we need to implement multiple logics here. The first thing is when you go for view inquiry, I will get all the inquiries from the table which are available in the database and I will display in the web page. That is one task. Then second task is when I select a filter, based on the filter, I need to get the data. Based on the filter, I need to get the data. So based on the filter, getting the data, updating the data. You see here, when I am going for filter, my page is refreshing or my page is not refreshing? Page is refreshing or not refreshing? No, page is not refreshing. Just my table is updating. Page refresh means if I go to home button, here page refresh will happen. If I go for add inquiry, page refresh is happening. If I go for view inquiry, page refresh will happen. But when I select the drop down, page refresh will not happen. Just my content will be updated in the table. Just my content will be updated in the table. Are you able to understand the requirement? Now, so let me go to logout, click on login, and let me access this. Login, go to home page. My dashboard is coming here. Let me go for add inquiry. When I go for the add inquiry, the inquiry will be added. When I go for view inquiry, existing inquiries will be displayed here. For getting the existing inquiries, the code will be very simple. Inquiry controller will be available. In the inquiry controller, inquiries method will be available. This is my inquiries method. What I am doing in this method, get inquiries based on the user ID. Whatever the inquiries available, I'm getting the inquiries. I'm returning list of inquiries. Okay. Whatever the list of inquiries I'm getting, I'm adding to the UI. I'm returning view inquiries page. In the view inquiries page, what is there? I have a table. In that table, I want to display the data. Okay, inquiry is coming from the controller. I'm iterating that controller data. I am printing on the web page. So view inquiries displaying. But after inquiries are displayed, filters are there. When I select a filter, Python, only Python data is coming. When I select Java, only Java data is coming. When I select DevOps, only DevOps data is coming. When I don't select anything, all the data is coming. If I select mode as new, 3 new inquiries are available. If I select enrolled, 1 enrolled inquiry is available. Clear this. If I go for online, 2 online inquiries are available. If I go for classroom, 2 classroom inquiries are available. Okay. In order to implement this filter, first we need to understand what is Ajax and how to work with the Ajax. Now, let us see first. Before going to implement this screen, we need to understand what is Ajax and how we need to work with the Ajax. Okay. Ajax. Guys, in the web application, 2 types of requests will be available. If you go for any web application, 2 types of requests will be available. One is called synchronous request. 2 types of requests will be available. One is called as synchronous request and the second one is called as asynchronous request. Synchronous request and asynchronous request will be available. When you go for synchronous request, whole web page will be reloaded. When you go for synchronous request, our complete web page will be reloaded. When you go for synchronous request, whole web page will be reloaded. But when you go for synchronous request, portion DOM will be updated. DOM will be updated without reloading the page. Without reloading the page, I can update only my DOM. DOM nothing but, what is the DOM? What is the DOM, guys? You don't know.
HTML elements are presented as JavaScript objects in browser.
Right.
Document
DOM
object.
nothing but our web page elements will be available as a DOM structure. Okay. Our web page will be available. In that web page, that input tags, paragraph, hyperlinks, whatever is there, whatever the content is available in the web page, that will be represented as a DOM, document object model. Right. Now here, if you go for any web application, in the web application, 2 types of requests will be available. First one is called as synchronous request and the second one is called as asynchronous request. Synchronous request nothing but, if you go to logout, when I go for login, when I click on the login button, what will happen? When I click on the login button, what is happening? When I click on the login button, complete page is reloaded. Complete page is reloaded. You can see in the browser also. Here you can see that if I click on create new, what happened? A blink happening on the web page. It is blinking in the web page. Now, when I click on login button, again observe blinking happening or not. So that means it is a synchronous request. It is a synchronous request. When you go for synchronous request, the whole web page will be reloaded. Okay, but in the web application, our requirement sometimes whole web page should be reloaded. Sometimes whole web page should not be reloaded. So if you don't want to reload the web page, then you need to go for asynchronous request. Now see here, let me go for Axis Bank application. Let me go for Axis Bank. Now let me click on login. I want to log in into Axis Bank. Good. Yeah, login page is loaded. Okay. In this login page, we have option. You can log in with your login ID and password. That is one option. Now, if I click on a debit card, my page is reloading or only content is modifying? My page is reloading or only my content is modifying? Content is modifying. Suppose if I click on Axis group, then what happened? Complete page is reloaded. So that means if you go for any web application, two types of requests will be available in the web application. What are those two types of requests? One is called as synchronous request. Another one is called as asynchronous request. How can you differentiate synchronous request and asynchronous request? If the whole web page is reloading, then that is called as a synchronous request. But in some scenario, I don't want to reload the whole web page. I want to reload some portion in the web page. Some div I want to reload, or some paragraph I want to reload, some drop down I want to reload. Then I can go for asynchronous request. You see here in the Axis Bank, when I go for this, when I click on this menu, when I click on the logo, what is happening? You can see in the browser, when I click on this logo, what is happening? It is scrolling. That means what? The whole page is getting reloaded. After whole page is reloaded, when I go for login, here to log in, they have given multiple options. Now you observe, you can log in with your customer ID and your password. I want to log in with my debit card number. I don't have a customer ID. I want to log in with the debit card number. When I click on debit card option, page reloaded or only content modified? That means in this whole web page, only some part is updated. That is called DOM manipulation. That concept is called as a DOM manipulation. So now, again, I want to log in with the MPIN. I have some secret PIN to log in into Axis Bank. When I click on this MPIN, then what is happening? Page is reloading or only that section is reloading? That section is reloading. That is called asynchronous request. In order to implement synchronous request, you don't need to do anything. By default, every request is synchronous request only. By default, every request is synchronous request only. If you want to go for asynchronous request implementation, then we need AJAX. What is the purpose of AJAX? What is the purpose of AJAX? If you want to implement asynchronous request in the project, then we need to go for AJAX. There is a full form for AJAX. Even I forgot that full form. AJAX. Okay. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. What is the full form for the AJAX, guys? Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. AJAX is not a programming language. AJAX is just one engine. AJAX is just one engine. AJAX introduction. So AJAX is a developer's dream because you can read the data from the server after the page has loaded, update the web page without reloading the page, send the data to server in the background. Okay, I can reload my content without reloading the whole web page. For that, we are going to use AJAX. Okay, so what is the full form of the AJAX? Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Okay, so to send asynchronous request to the server, we need to use AJAX. To send async request To send async request to server, we can use Ajax. Okay. What is the full form of the Ajax? Ajax stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So what are the benefits with the Ajax? We can reload only data without reloading the whole page, without loading whole web page. Now, dynamically, we can send the server to the, we can send the data to the server without clicking on any button. I can send the data to the server. We can send data to server in async mode. We can send the data to server in async mode. What is the meaning of async mode? Dynamically, without clicking on any button, I can send the data to server and I can get the data from the server. We can reload only data without reloading whole web page. Okay. Now, seamless experience for end user. Will end user think that a request is going to server? Will end user think that a request is going to server? No. If you log in into our application now, when I go for view inquiries, page is reloading. View inquiries is a synchronous request, but this is a drop down asynchronous request. So now, do you feel that a request is going to server, or you will feel that table is modified? Only table is modified, but from where the data is coming? From the database. So whenever I change the drop down data, a request is going to the server, getting the data dynamically, updating in the table. But end user will feel that only data is modifying in the front end. End user will not know that I'm sending a request to the server, I'm getting the data from the server, I'm updating my table. But if you go here, add inquiry. When I click on this hyperlink, then what is happening? Page is reloading. User will understand that a request is going to server, response is coming. But when you go for this asynchronous call, very good experience, right? Seamless experience for user. Seamless experience for end user when you are having the Ajax calls. Got it? Now, directly, I don't want to implement Ajax in our mini project, guys. You may get confused with that. First, let's develop a small application like a POC. First time, we are going to work on Ajax part. Most of the people don't know how to work with the Ajax. In the real time also, when you want to implement any new concept, directly don't experiment on the project. If you do that experiment on the project, then what is the problem? If you do that experiment on the project, then what is the problem? Other functionality may disturb. Now, let's close our project for time being. I don't want to work with our project now. First, I want to develop one small POC on the Ajax. What is the meaning of a POC? Proof of concept. First, we need to understand, can we implement asynchronous call by using Spring Boot and Ajax? If we are able to do that, then same concept we will implement in our project also. Able to follow this? Now, let me create one simple application. What I want to do is, two examples I'm going to do on the Ajax now. So first one is, I will give one text field as a name. I will give one text field for the name. You enter your name here. And you click on submit button. When you click on this submit button, without reloading the page, I want to get the response from the server and I want to display a message. Hello, whatever the name that you enter, that name I will print here by using Ajax call. Okay, this is my application. In this application, I will implement one simple HTML page, time leaf page. You will enter your data and you will click on submit button. When you click on submit button, first I will show you synchronous request, then I will convert the same into asynchronous request also. Are you guys clear? Good. Let's go to our project. First, let me implement synchronous. Let me show you. Then I will show you asynchronous request. File, new, Spring Starter project. Let me take 03 Spring Boot Ajax POC. Spring Boot Ajax POC. Now click on next. DevTools, TimeLeaf, Web Starter. DevTools, TimeLeaf, and Web Starter. Lombok if you want. Good. Click on next and click on finish. I'm creating one project. Sorry. Version not changed. Huh? Oh, it will not work then. Let me delete this. Let me create it again. File, new, starter project, Ajax POC, next, Spring Boot 2.7. TimeLeaf, DevTools, Web Dependency, Lombok. Click on next and click on finish. Yes, guys. So project is getting created. In this project, I will create one simple REST controller. New class. Let me create one package called REST. So let me create user REST controller. Any class. I'm taking one REST controller. So to represent this class as a REST controller, I will go for @REST controller annotation. I will go for a annotation called @REST controller. Okay, good. @REST controller annotation is available. I'm writing one method, public string get message. Get message. I want the name. Whatever the name you are entering in the text field, I want to capture that name. So in order to capture that name, I'm going to use request param. Okay. What are you doing? Concentrate. So here I want to capture that name. In order to capture that name, what I'm taking? I'm taking request param annotation. What is the purpose of request param annotation? To capture data from the request param. I got the name. Whatever the name I am getting, for that name, I'm appending that message, just hello. That's it. Okay. If you get a message hello with the name, that means it is coming from my REST controller. Okay. This is a REST controller. In this REST controller, I have a method. That method is mapped to get request / message is available. Request param. What is this request param? Name is available. Request param, name is available. Okay. Now go to TimeLeaf template, new. I think one method is required to load my HTML page. Okay, that is my index page. Index. Oh. 1 minute. Okay. Directly let me go to templates. Let me create other file, HTML file, index.html. I'm going for index.html. So in this HTML, I want to take TimeLeaf. How to take that? XML ns colon th is equal to XML ns colon th is equal to www.timeleaf.org. Now in the body, I want to write one form. Okay, form th colon action, form th colon action. Then next one, what we need to do next? th colon object, and we will write method. Something like this. Okay, now instead of REST controller, I need to go for normal controller now, because UI page should be loaded. So normal controller is available. I will take modal object now. I'm going to take modal object. So whatever the message I want to send, I will keep in the modal object message. Okay, so modal dot add attribute of key comma value. Key comma value. Then I will return my index page. I will return index page. This is a normal controller. It will return a view page. Okay. Once this page is submitted, here I will write one text field. Input type is equal to text. First one field is required. Input type is equal to text. Name is equal to name. Name is equal to name. Then I need to go for one button. Submit button. Okay. Form binding is not available, not required also. Action / message. Method by default get request, not required. Now after displaying this text field, let me go for button. Input type is equal to submit and value is equal to submit. Value is equal to submit. After this form is submitted, request will go to controller and I will get the response from the controller. After getting the response from the controller, I want to print this data. How to print this data? Text is equal to dollar of that value. Dollar of that value. Okay, perfect. I created one simple controller class, and in this controller, we can write one simple method, public string load. I want to load index page, return index. Return index. Let me map it to get method, get mapping /. This is used to load index page. This is used to load the index page. And the second one is used to handle form submission, guys. Okay. So this is used to load index page and this is used to handle my form submission. So currently, when I click on the submit button, synchronous request will go to the server or asynchronous request will go to the server. Synchronous request will go to the server. Let's observe, refresh, right click, run as boot application. Right click, run as boot application. Application started, go to browser, localhost / 8080. Now it is saying template is not loaded. Oh, it created in the web app directory. Huh? It should be in the templates directory. Yeah, stop the server. Run this again. Console, clear this. Now 8080. Yes, we are able to get some text field. Okay, let me beautify this. Let me go to templates, index.html. Let me give enter name. Enter name here. Okay, enter your name in the web page. Now observe carefully what will happen when I click on submit button. Click on submit. When I click on submit, what is happening? Now let me enter the name, click on submit. Then what is happening? It is sending synchronous request or it is sending asynchronous request? Synchronous request. How can you say that it is a synchronous request? The whole page is getting reloaded. Now I want to change this to asynchronous request. I want to change this to asynchronous request. So to change this to asynchronous request, we need to go for Ajax. We need to go for Ajax. Tell me, what is the difference between synchronous request and asynchronous request? In the synchronous request, whole web page will be reloaded. In the asynchronous request, only DOM will be updated without reloading the page. What are the advantages? We can reload only data without loading the whole page. We can send data to server in the async mode. We can send or read data to or from server in the asynchronous mode. Seamless experience for the end user. Now, I want to change this to asynchronous call. When I go for asynchronous call, I will make this as a response body. I want direct message. I don't need any UI. I want to direct response body. I don't need to take any model object or anything. I don't need to take any model object or not. Controller plus response body. What is the meaning of that? It is a REST controller. So whenever you send a request for this method, What this method will do? It will return direct message for you. This method will return direct message for you. But how to send the request to this method? How to send the request for this method? So whenever you load this page, whenever you click on the submit button, I want to send the request to this method in the asynchronous mode by using Ajax. Okay, let's go here, refresh this page. 8080. Now enter some name and click on submit. Now what happened? Page is reloaded, direct response is coming. But my requirement is whenever I click on submit button, without reloading the page, message should be updated in the web page. That is called DOM manipulation. I want to manipulate my web page without reloading the whole web page. For that I need to implement Ajax. Okay, so now the steps that we need to follow to implement Ajax. First one, add jQuery dependency. First add the jQuery dependency in form.xml. If you want to use Ajax, either you need to start the Ajax by using JavaScript or you need to start it by using jQuery. I want to use jQuery to start my Ajax engine. Ajax is not a programming language. It is just one concept to send the request to server asynchronously. Add jQuery dependency in the form.xml. That is the first step. Then second step is include jQuery.min.js file in our HTML page. That reference should be available. So jQuery file will be available. We need to include that jQuery file in our HTML page. And third one, write Ajax logic to send async request to server. Write the Ajax logic to send asynchronous request to the server. Update the response in the web page. Update response in web page. So Ajax will send the request to the server. Server will give the response to Ajax. Ajax should update the response in the web page without reloading the whole web page. Are you able to follow this? So if you want to implement Ajax in the Spring Boot, the first step you need to do, add jQuery dependency in the form.xml. Then what is the second step? We need to include jQuery JS file in our HTML page. And what is the third step? Write Ajax logic to send asynchronous request to the server. Update the response in the web page. Okay. First, let me take that jQuery dependency. Go to mbnrepository.com. Check for jQuery. org.webjars jQuery is available. Go to this dependency, copy this and add in the form.xml. Go to index form.xml of our project. In the form.xml, I'm adding jQuery dependency. Okay. So this is the dependency we need, guys. org.webjars jQuery version 3.6.4. I'm adding that. Only this dependency not sufficient. We need to include jQuery JS file in our script tag. Okay. How I have added that in the mini project. So in the templates, if you see view inquiries.html, here if you see I have added jQuery script like this. In the WebJars, jQuery will be available. Which version we have added? 3.6.4. 3.6.4 / jQuery.min.js. That means in my HTML page, now I can use jQuery. I have downloaded jQuery dependency and I have included jQuery JS file in my HTML page. JavaScript is available. JavaScript means you need to write lot of code. jQuery is a framework developed based on the JavaScript. So by using that jQuery, I want to start the Ajax. By using jQuery, I want to start the Ajax. So with this, my jQuery dependency added in my HTML. Once it is available, now I want to write Ajax call. I want to write the Ajax. So what I want to do is, I am having a REST controller method with response body. I want to send a get request to this method. I want to send get request to this method. When I am sending get request, it is expecting the name. That means what Ajax has to do is, Ajax has to take the name which is available in the field and it has to send it to the server asynchronously. Server will give some response, display that response in the web page without reloading the page. That complete process should happen in the background. Now the question is, how to send get request to the server using Ajax, and then how to update that response in the web page. First step is completed. We added dependency of the jQuery and we configured jQuery min.js as well in our web page. Like this, we need to configure this. Okay, jQuery dependency we taken from mbnrepository.com. This dependency you can add. Add the jQuery dependency in the form.xml. We have added. Then configure jQuery min.js file in our HTML page under head section in head tag. In the head tag. So our web page is having head tag. Inside the head tag, I'm writing this script. I'm writing this script. And the next one, I need to write jQuery with Ajax. Now write the Ajax logic to send asynchronous request to the server, get the response, update the response in the web page. It's now I want to understand how to send get request to the server using Ajax. Just to Google it. Go to browser, Ajax call using jQuery. Ajax call using jQuery. Now go to this. So jQuery Ajax method, Ajax tutorial for post and get. This is the logic available which is used to send get request to the server. So this is the jQuery logic that is used to send Ajax request to our server. So what they are doing, $.ajax, type get URL, which URL you want to access, what data you want to send in the URL, what you want to do once you receive response from the Ajax. Let me copy this. Copy this code. Now I will keep that code in the script. I need to write one script. Inside the script, I'm keeping my Ajax logic. Okay. Here URL will be changed and data. I want to send the name. Where is my name available? Input type is equal to text, name is equal to name. And I am having button. Input type is equal to submit, value is equal to submit. Or you can make it as a direct button also. Now here, do I need the form now? Am I going to submit through the form synchronous request or asynchronous request? It is asynchronous request. Now, for this name, I will give one ID is equal to name. I need the ID for that. For this button also, I will give one ID. ID is equal to submit button. Okay. For the text field, I'm giving one ID. For the button also, I'm giving one ID. Take the name ID. Okay. Script is available $.ajax. Now I want to get that value. Okay. $of_name.value. What is the meaning of $of_name.value? Get the value of that text field. Now when I need to execute this Ajax logic, when you click on that button. That means on button submit, I want to send the Ajax call. So let me get it here. Make Ajax call on button submit. Make Ajax call on button click. jQuery Ajax on button click. Okay. So to do that, we are going to write like this. Document.ready function button dot click, then I want to go for Ajax call. Okay. So here, let me remove this. First one, we need to specify document.ready function. Document.ready function will be available. What is the meaning of document.ready? Once the complete web page is loaded, then only my script should be executed. Document.ready function, here it is open and closed. Now, inside this, I will write one event dot button dot click. I want to call this when my button got clicked. I want to call this when my button got clicked. Function. Okay, save this. Document.ready function button.click. Error. 1 minute. Function is ready. Document.button.click of function E. Yeah, this is correct. Perfect. So now, what is our button ID? Submit button. Let me do this. Button.click. First of all, let me get the value. Variable name is equal to dollar of. Variable name is equal to dollar of. What is the name? Name dot val. Name dot val. Now let me go for alert name. So when I click on that button, first of all, my script is working or not, I want to check it. When the button is clicked, am I able to capture the value from the name or not? I want to verify that. Okay, script. In the head part, I'm keeping this. Now let me reload my page. Let me start the server. I want to just check it. Am I able to capture the name when I click on the button? 8080. Okay. So now enter some value, click on submit. Now, am I able to capture that value? I'm not able to capture that value. I'm not able to capture that value. Okay. Let me take this as input type is equal to, it is not submit now. Let me make it as input type is equal to button. Form also not required. I don't want to make asynchronous call. I want to make asynchronous call. 8080. Enter submit. Now, is it working or not working? Am I able to capture that value? Not able to capture that value. Not able to. Inspect, go to console. What is happening? Missing after argument list. So it is saying that there is some issue in our script. There is some issue in our script. Document.ready function, button.click, $.name.val. After that, I'm writing alert.value. Okay. Yes, that is a mistake. 8080. Enter some value, submit. Perfect. Now I'm able to capture that value. Good. So go to browser, localhost colon 8080. Let's enter some name, click on submit. Alert is coming or not. So that means I'm executing one event, guys. So what is the event? I have a text field. I don't have any form now. I have a simple text field and I have one button. And whenever you click on this button, so button is having one ID, text field also having one ID. ID is equal to submit button. Whenever you click on this button, this function will be executed. This is my jQuery logic. For this ID, I have written one event, submit button dot click. Whenever you click this button, this function will be called. What I am doing in the function, I'm capturing the value from the text field. I'm writing alert. What is the meaning of alert? Print in the browser itself. Print that in the browser itself. Now go to this localhost colon 8080, enter some value, click on submit. Click on submit. Alert is coming or not? Alert is coming. Page is reloading or page is not reloading? Page is reloading or page is not reloading? Page is not reloading. I'm getting the alert. Now, I don't want any alert. I want to send get request to the server by using Ajax. So how to send get request to the server by using Ajax? For that, we are going to use this logic, guys. $.ajax. What we are going to use? $.ajax. Now, let me take $.ajax. I want to write Ajax logic here. I want to write the Ajax logic here. These are semicolons, these are curly braces. These braces are very important. If I don't write this brace, that will become invalid. Okay, we should be very careful when we are writing this front end logic. I want to start my Ajax engine. So $.ajax curly brace. Okay, then semicolon. So this is used to start the Ajax engine. When this Ajax call will happen? On button click. Whenever you click on this button, then I will capture the name from the text field. Then I want to go for $.ajax. In the $.ajax, what type of request you want to send? What is your URL? What is your data? What you want to do when you get the success? What you want to do when you get the error? All that information we need to keep in this Ajax call. So what type of request I want to send? I want to send a get request. What is my URL? Message. What is my URL? Message. What is the data that you want to send? The data that I want to send is the name. The data that I want to send is the name. So name, I want to send as a query parameter. Success. Whatever the result I am getting, alert, I will give result. If any error occurs, then I will go for alert error. Alert error. Name is equal data. Name is equal to $of name.value. Data name $of name.value. That's it. No? Here already name is available. Name is equal to $of name.value. What is the error? Name is equal to $of name.value. Name val $of this that value colon, sorry, it is not equals, it is colon. Name colon $of name.value. What is the meaning of this type, guys? In the Ajax, I'm specifying type as a get. What is the meaning of type as get? I want to send a get request. My method is binded to which request? Get request. So type is get. I want to make a get request. URL. What is the meaning of URL? What is the URL pattern? Which controller method you want to call? Which method you want to call by using Ajax? I'm giving that URL as message. Then when you are making a request, do you want to send any data to the server? Yes, I want to send this text field value to the server. Whatever the data that you enter in the text field, I want to send it. To capture that data from the text field, $of name.val. This hash name will represent ID of the text field. What is the ID I have given? Name I have given. Suppose if I give ID as a username, then what I need to do? Take this ID, go here, $of username.value. What is the meaning of $of username.value? Capture the data from the text field. Whatever the value available in the text field, you capture that value. This is a key and this is the value which will send to the server. Then after sending the request, success. That means if you get successful response from the REST API or from the server, whatever you are calling this method is returning some response. Whatever the response you are getting, that response will be stored into result variable. Whatever the response giving by the server, that response will be available in the result variable. That response I am printing by using alert. Suppose if some problem occurred in the server, then it will go to error. I want to print that error message. Okay. Now let me run this application. It is already running, I think so. Yes. Now go to AT. Now enter some name, click on submit. What happened? Yes. From where that response is coming? So is it our response or it is coming from the server? That means request is going to server or request is not going to server? Request is going to server. What is the proof to say that request is going to server? Enter the name as something like Raja. Okay, click on submit. Then what happened? Hello, Raja is coming. Who is adding hello to the name? My REST method is adding that. My method is able to capture the data or not? Name is coming to the controller or not? Who is sending the name to the controller? Ajax. Who is sending the name to the controller? Ajax is sending the name to the controller as a data section. So take the value from the username field and send it to the server with the key as a name. So same thing I'm using request param of name. So request came to my REST controller returning some message. That message is stored into result variable. I'm keeping that as a alert. What is the meaning of alert? What is the meaning of alert? Print that on the pop-up. Print that on the pop-up. Now, I want to display that in the web page. This is the requirement, right? So whenever I enter the name, I click on button, I want to display the message in the web page itself. How to display that in the web page? Go to this, after HR, here I am writing one div id is equal to message div. I'm writing one div with a name called message div. I'm giving one ID for that. I added one div ID is equal to message div is available. Okay. Now take this message div. Once you get the success response, dollar of what is the ID for the div? Message div is available dot HTML result. So whatever the response that I'm getting from the server, I want to print that response in the div. I want to append my response to the div. Okay. Now let's go here. Go to browser, localhost colon 8080, enter the name, click on submit. Message is coming or not? Page is reloading or page is not reloading? Not reloading. Now give the name as Samrani and click on submit. Is there any refresh happening? Refresh is not happening, but am I getting the response from the server? I'm getting the response from the server. Let me give the name as some John. Click on submit. Message coming as hello John. So this is Ajax call in our Spring Boot application. So what are the things I have done to implement this Ajax call? So first step, I have added jQuery dependency in the pom.xml. Then what is the second step? I have added jQuery.min.js in my HTML. What is the third step? Write the Ajax logic to send asynchronous request to the server. I have a controller. My controller is having one method, get mapping available and response body is available. My method is taking request parameter. My method is taking request parameter. For that request parameter, I'm appending hello message. I'm returning response. My controller method returning view page or my controller method returning direct response. My controller method is returning direct response. Now, so here, whenever you click on the button, form is submitted or button click event generated. Form is submitting or button click event generated. Button click event generated. Clear? Now, in the HTML, any form available? In the HTML, any form is available? In the HTML, form is not available. I have just one text field and I have one button, not submit button. Normal button is available. Input type is equal to text, name is equal to name, ID is equal to username. Input type is equal to button, value is equal to submit, ID is equal to submit button. For this ID, I have written one event, guys. For this button ID, I have written one event. Dollar of button dot click off function. Now we will go for button click function. That means whenever you click this button, then immediately this function will be triggered. That is a jQuery function. In that jQuery, I am writing $.ajax. What is the meaning of $.ajax? It is used to start the Ajax engine. It is used to start the Ajax engine. When you click on that button, my Ajax engine will start. What I am doing in the Ajax engine, I'm telling that you need to send a GET request to this URL along with this data. I'm telling to my Ajax, you need to send a GET request to this URL with this data. Which data? Whatever the data you are entering in the text field, I need to capture that data. How to capture text field data in the jQuery? By using $of text field id dot val. It will give me the data which is available in the text field. That data I am sending. This will become key and this will become the value. So with this, request will go to server through Ajax, asynchronous request. What is the meaning of asynchronous request? What is the meaning of asynchronous request? Without reloading the page, that request will go to server. Server will process that request. Server will give some response. Whatever the response given by the server, that will be available in the result. You can keep anything. If I keep it as something like data, okay, then HTML of data. You can take anything. Whatever is given by the server, that will be stored into this variable. Success. That means if Ajax call is a success, whatever the response given by the server, that response will be stored into data, where you need to print that data. For that, I added one div. Div ID is equal to message div. Whatever the response I am getting from the Ajax, I want to give that data to that div. $of div ID dot HTML of data. So whatever the response is coming from the server, it will be stored into that div. Right, now check this. 8080, something like value submit. Hello, Rani. So request is going to server, response is coming, but the page is not reloading. What is the meaning of that? It is a asynchronous call. It is a asynchronous call. Now, can I give one more example? I want to make a Ajax call when you change the drop-down value. I want to make a Ajax call when you change the drop-down value. I have already shown you in our website, we have that functionality. If you go to mock interview, now, based on your experience, the price is going to change. Currently in the fee drop-down, any value available? No. Select experience of 6 to 10 years, then what happened? Fee is updated. Page is reloading or only drop-down value reloaded? Only drop-down value reloaded. What does that mean? Whenever you change this drop-down, a request is going to server, getting the data, displaying in the drop-down. So that means on drop-down change, Mr. Brown Shirt, wake him up. Good morning, sir. Good morning. One coffee? Here I am teaching this much interesting topic. How you are getting sleep? Go and wash your face. Anybody who is feeling sleepy? What is Ajax? What is Ajax? Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. What is the purpose of Ajax? What is the purpose of Ajax? It is used to send asynchronous request to the server. What is the meaning of asynchronous request to the server? Without reloading the web page, I want to send the request to the server and I can update the response without reloading the web page. Now, observe. This is message div is available. Message div is available. Now, let me go for another HR tag. Okay. Go here. Now, if I enter some name, I'm getting hello Ashok. Okay. Now, I want to display one drop down, guys. I want to display one drop down. Do you know how to display drop down? Select Now inside the select, I will give as option. First option I'm giving as select. Okay. Second option I'm giving as India. Okay. Third option I'm giving as USA. Fourth option I'm giving as some UK. Okay. Then fifth option I'm giving Australia or Canada. Right. Now refresh our web page. Now can you see drop down is available? Can you see drop down is available? Now whenever you change the drop down value, I want to print one message. Okay. If you select India, I'm going to India. If I select it as US, I'm going to US. I want to get that message dynamically. Okay. So fine. So here drop down is available. Drop down is available. Below the drop down, I want to display that message. Div ID is equal to drop down div. Div ID is equal to drop down div is available. Currently, any functionality available for the drop down? Any functionality available for the drop down? No. Now what I want to do, whenever you change drop down value, I want to update a message. For that, let me create another REST controller method. Let me create another REST controller method. Now get a drop down message. Get a drop down message. Request param country name. I'm expecting country name as a query parameter. Hello. Now if you select some particular country, then what I will do? I am going to that particular country in next month. Something like this. I'm going to India in next month, or I'm going to Canada in the next month. This is the message. Now let me give this as country message. So if you go for message, that will get the name, hello message will come. If you send the request to country message, I will get the response. I'm going to particular country in the next month. Which country? That you decide in the drop down. So whatever the value is selected in the drop down, once the drop down value is selected, I want to send asynchronous request to this method and I want to get that response. Are you clear? Good. For this drop down, when I need to call this method, guys? When I need to call this method? When we change the drop down. So for that drop down, I'm giving one ID is equal to country name. I'm giving one ID that is country name. Perfect. So here, let me go to here. Currently, I have one function. When this function will be called? When this function will be called? It is binded to which event, guys? Button dot click event. Now what I want to do? Now I want to execute one more function when the drop down value got changed. I want to execute one more function when the drop down value got changed. Okay. Let me copy this. Same code. Copy this. Yes. When this should be executed? On change. Drop down is having one ID, that is country name. Now $hash.country name dot on change. Right. So what is the meaning of that? Here, whenever drop down value got changed, then I want to execute this function. First of all, can we see this function is executing or not? Okay. Let me go for alert. Let me go for alert. Let me write drop down changed. Drop down changed. So what is the function I am writing? If a dollar of country name drop down on change. If the drop down got changed, I want to execute the alert. First, I want to see my function is working as expected or not. When the drop down is changed, this function is executing or not. Let me run my server. Guys, if you know just Java, you cannot develop a project. You need to have the idea on the front end as well. Right. Refresh. Okay. Drop down is available. Change this value. Alert is coming or not. So what is the meaning of this? If I change it to UK, what it is saying? Drop down change. If I go to select, drop down change. If I go for India, drop down change. If I go for US, drop down change. What is the meaning of that? I have a function. When that function will be called? When that function will be called? Whenever you change the drop down value. When this function will be called? Whenever you submit the button, this function will be called. Whenever you change the drop down, this function will be called. Now, drop down changing is happening. What I need to do now? What I need to do now? I need to start the Ajax. How to start the Ajax? $.Ajax. $.Ajax. Okay. $.Ajax. Now, in this $.Ajax, I need to specify type. What is the meaning of type? What type of request you want to send? Type, I want to make a GET request. Then, what is the URL? See message. Do you want to send any data in the request? Do you need to send any data in the request or not? Yes, we need to send country name. How to get that country name? How to get that country name? Ash cname dot val. Cname dot val. Now, after sending this data, you will get some success response. Once you get the success response, I want to get that data. Whatever the data that is coming with the success, I want to display that data in a div. What is the div available for that? Drop down div is available. So now drop down div.html of data. Got it? So on change of the drop down, I want to call my Ajax. By using this Ajax, I want to send a GET request to this URL. That method is expecting country name as a request parameter. I'm sending that country name. I'm taking the drop down value. I'm sending that value. I got the response. The response I'm storing into data variable. That data variable I'm appending to drop down div. Now let's run this. Run this application and check it. IT India. What happened? I'm going to India in the next month. So that means Ajax is working or not. Now let me give some name as Ashok and submit. What happened? So when I click on this button, only this portion is loading. When I click on this button, only this portion is loading. Give some other name. Let me give some Anil and click on submit. Hello, Anil. Now go for drop down, select Canada. Then what happened? Whole page is reloading or only that particular div is reloading? Whole page is not reloading, only particular div is reloading. If I go for normal synchronous request, whole page will be reloaded. But in this scenario, only particular div is reloading. So whenever you enter some name and click on submit, only that particular div will be updated. That is called as DOM manipulation. It is called DOM manipulation. When you change the drop down value to the India, that message is reloaded. I'm going to India in the next month. If I select UK, then I'm going to UK in the next month. Who is giving this message? jQuery is giving or server is giving? How jQuery getting from the server? By using Ajax. Okay, Ajax is playing very important role in our application. Ajax is used to send a request to server asynchronously. Without reloading the whole page, I'm able to load the content. I'm able to update only particular div. Now, with this knowledge, can you understand how our second mini project filter is working? Run as boot application. Clear the console. Go here, localhost colon 8080. Let me log in into this application. Click on login, view enquiries. When I click on view enquiries, it is a synchronous request. Whole page is loaded. Now I will change the course to Java. What happened? What happened when I select Java? Whole page reloaded or only table reloaded? That is called Ajax call. That is called Ajax call. Whenever you change this drop down value, on change function will be called. Whenever you change this drop down value to the Python, then what is happening? Only my table is getting reloaded, not the entire page. When you click on view inquiries, the whole page will be reloaded. But when you select the drop down, only table will be reloaded. So now you understand how to make drop down on change event. Yes, now we understand how to make on change event. Here I have a drop down. Here I have a drop down. To display the drop down response, I am giving one div. For this drop down, I have given one ID. And here I am writing one Ajax function. When the drop down dot on change, if the drop down value got changed, then this function will be called. What this function is doing? It is sending a get request to the server with the Ajax. In that get request, it is sending some name also, and it is getting the response. Whatever the response it is getting, it is updating that response to the div value. It is updating the response to the div value, right? So now in my project also same requirement is available. Same requirement. Guys, observe Ajax when I am doing first time. Am I directly implementing Ajax in the project or I am doing POC? I am doing a POC. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Proof of concept. Now I'm confident that I can work on Ajax. I know how to use Ajax in the Spring Boot. Now I know how to execute Ajax call when I click on submit button. Now I know when to execute the Ajax call when for the drop down change. So if the drop down value is changed, I want to trigger my Ajax call. What that Ajax call will do? It will take the drop down data, whatever the value is selected in the drop down, it will send to the server. Server will give some response. That response I will update in the div. That response I will update in the div. You got it? Now, in our project, in the second project, in this screen, what I need to do is, when you go for view inquiries, first time, when you land on the page, as usual, normal web page will be loaded. When you go for this page, whenever you click on view inquiries, as usual, normal page will be reloaded. Okay. admin@123 login. View inquiries. Whole page is reloaded. Now, do you know how to implement this page? Forget about the filters. Forget about the filter. Normal. When I click on view inquiry, I need to get all the data. I will send it to the UI by using model attribute. That model attribute value I will access in the template and I will print that data using each tag. Then after I have the drop downs. It is not a form. It is a normal 3 drop downs available. For these drop downs, from where the data is coming? Database. In the add inquiry, force data coming from the database, inquiry status coming from the database. Same thing in the view inquiries also. I want to get this data from the database. I want to get this data from the database, and this is hard-coded value. Okay. Now, for these 3 drop downs, I want to execute Ajax engine. Okay, guys. So whenever I change this drop down, my table data filtering, when I change this drop down, my table getting updated. When I change this drop down, my table is getting updated. So how many drop downs available now? How many drop downs available now? 3 drop downs are available. So do I need to write 3 functions? Do I need to write 3 functions or one function is sufficient? One function is sufficient. Now, what I will do is, here I will write one function. This is jQuery function. I will write jQuery function. In this jQuery function, I will execute Ajax call. In this jQuery function, I will execute Ajax call. So here I am having three drop downs, guys. What are the three drop downs? One is course name, another one is course mode, another one is inquiry status. Three drop downs are available. If a first drop down change, or if a second drop down change, if third drop down change, I want to call the same function. Are you guys clear? I have three drop downs. If any drop down is changed, then I want to call the same function. So here, what I will do is, for all these drop downs, I will give one class. Instead of giving the ID, for all the drop downs, I will give one class. What is that class? That is search. I will give class is equal to search for the first drop down, class is equal to search for the second drop down, class is equal to search for the third drop down. Now jQuery function will be available. In that jQuery, I will write like this: $on change function. When this function should be called? When this function should be called? Whenever the drop down value change. Which drop down? Any drop down or particular drop down? Any one from these three. Any one from these three. So earlier I have given hash ID. So based on the particular drop down, if it is changed, then I need to call this function. But now I will go for dot search. Dot search. So earlier in our project, I have given ID for the drop down. Okay. For this ID, I will write hash ID. If that particular drop down changed, then only this function will be called. When you want to go for multiple drop downs change, instead of ID, I need to go for class. In the UI, they will explain you what is ID selector, what is a class selector. ID means particular field, class means group of fields. Okay. Now there are three drop downs available. For these three drop downs, I will give same class. Now, if you want to execute the function on particular drop down change, hash ID. If you want to go for a class selector, dot you want to use, right? Dot search. When I go for a dot search, what will happen? When I go for a dot search, what will happen? Any of these three drop down. If you change first drop down or second drop down or third drop down, this function will be called. What I will do in this function now? What I will do in this function now? I need to send a Ajax request with how many drop down values? Three drop down values. That is next level that we are going to implement. So you got the basic idea. What is Ajax? How to integrate Ajax in the Spring Boot? You got any idea? What is Ajax? How to use Ajax in the Spring Boot application? So what are the steps that you need to do for that? First, what we need to do? Add the dependency. What is the second step? What is the second step? Include the jQuery file in the HTML. What is the third step? Write the Ajax logic. Write the Ajax logic. Now, so this is the Ajax logic we are keeping. Okay. Inside the script tag, we are going to write our Ajax logic. Now, this is my whole HTML page. This is my whole HTML page, and this is my REST controller. Anybody feeling Ajax is difficult? Difficult or easy? Can you imagine any application without Ajax? Can you imagine any web application without Ajax? No. In every applications, Ajax will be available. Ajax will be available. Just look at this. Just look at this code. That's it. Guys, I want you people to practice Ajax functionality, and I want you people to implement normal view inquiries page. In the tomorrow's class, I will explain this Ajax functionality in the class. We will do the live coding for this Ajax call in the tomorrow session. Okay, so you got the basic idea what is Ajax now and how to work with Ajax. So I have updated this Ajax functionality code in the notes. I will upload these notes. So I want you people to practice the Ajax, and I want you people to implement this view inquiries page. If you implement view inquiries page, normal data you will get it. This drop down filter I will explain with coding in the tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we will do the coding for these drop downs data. Okay, fine. Any questions, anyone? Are you guys doing the coding really? We will check that. I will check it. Assignment I will check how much you are doing in the second project. Tomorrow I will complete the second project. Tomorrow I will complete the second project. The only pending functionality, view inquiries. So view inquiries normal page you can develop. Only this filtering functionality I will explain, and the edit functionality will be there. No, two methods will be there. Right. So tomorrow we'll understand that. Okay, guys. Any questions, anyone? Online people? Yeah. Unmute your mic, guys. Online students. Any question, anyone?
Sir, in the real time, Flipkart also drop down low price to high price.
Yes.
Yes, that is the Ajax.
Ajax call only. Without reloading the page, they will get the data.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in our project we are using session. Okay. In a real-time projects, they use session or something else for security.
If it is normal web application, session will be available. If it is a REST API, session will not be available.
And sir, not a REST API, only web-based application.
Yeah, if it is a web-based application, session will be available.
Okay,
Somewhere I saw combo of this JWT and session both.
Right.
So in real world, is this the way or what?
This is the way, sir. If it is a pure web application, this is the way. If it is a REST API, process will be different.
Okay. There's a lot of confusion is there. Where to go? What to do?
Yes,
depends on the project functionality.
And that is why my next question is there. Then you told us that you are planning to start a batch with this project, live project, right?
No, that is
what happened to
future
that?
Batch. Future. I'm working on that part.
Ho gaya na, but so much time left. Elapsed. So
first, let me complete this project, sir. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi.
So as we know, the Hibernate and Spring Data is JPA. Sir, again, do we need to learn Spring JDBC and Spring DAO for
not required? Not required. If you have basic idea, that is fine. No need to spend much time for that.
We can skip these modules, sir. Spring JDBC and Spring.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, when you are going to conduct that, how to explain the project?
Sorry?
Sir, are you going to explain that how to explain the project in the interview and resume preparation?
Still courses, we are still in the mini projects only, madam. Let me complete the mini projects first.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, what about this interview process, sir? I saw
everything will come. Once I complete the mini projects, then I will come to that part. Okay.
Which mini project, sir? This is second project. After
this is third one.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Fine, guys. Good. So please practice Ajax example today and complete view inquiries page. Can you do view inquiries page development?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you develop view inquiries page? Yes or no?
Yes,
what
sir.
is there in that?
Yes,
just get the data, display the data. That's it.
Well
Drop down filter, I will explain that.
Sir,
Done?
can you explain pagination as well?
One minute. Pagination. We will discuss pagination also, sir. Already the second mini project functionality became very huge. It is becoming like a major project. So Whatever the functionality I have given, with this I will stop the second project. We will go for the third mini project. Pagination also will explain in the coming classes.
Okay, sir.
Good.
Sir, in the third mini project, are you going to use Spring Security as well?
First of all, I need to explain security, right? We did not discuss Spring Security in the Spring Boot classes as of now. Spring Security will be covered, but not immediately. Okay?
So in the third mini project, it will be used or not?
No, it will not be used.
Okay.
All right, fine guys, good. We'll see you in the tomorrow's class.